Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Atlantic Coast Aesthetics. I'm Matt with ACA, and joining us once again is Dr. Thomas Payne, answering your questions for cosmetic surgery. And today, Dr. Payne, we have a question from our Instagram crowd. And the question is, during a BBL or Brazilian butt lift, can you also transfer fat to the outer thigh to make a slim patient thigh become more thicker? And if so, what are the chances of the transfer fat surviving? Dr. Payne, what is your expert recommendation here?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Basically, when you're doing the fat transfer, you want to look at the different zones of the buttocks of where you want the fat to be going. Now, you know, because when we do these things more, people start to determine, these different names for areas. You got to, I'm going to just draw something here because if we're talking about the outer thighs, the real outer thighs, or are we talking about like the so-called, hip dip area here. So like if you look at somebody's, backside, um, and they've got like, let's say you've got like these little areas on the side that kind of go in. See if I got like if it's going in on the side here, these little dips, then you bring some fat out to get those kind of filled in. Okay. Um, Now, if you're talking about the thigh itself, like let's draw a little bit more, and you're talking about like the actual thigh down here, like between the knee and the hip, you're not really going to add fat into this area. That skin is very tight. Really, the fat is going to be added kind of up here, like that. If I'm drawing this kind of correctly, you see, you're going to go on the side, and that's where the skin will expand out, so you can get some more happening there. The mainly though, when you're adding the fat, usually you're talking about basically, this center zone here for the outer projection. I'm kind of drawing, I'm looking in the screen and making sure I don't draw like I'm in the wrong spot. And then in the sides here, this is where you're talking about it. And then if you want to sneak down a little bit, you can. Now, it depends on each person because some people just have very tight skin of the thigh. And when it's real tight, it's not going to stretch out. This is one of the great areas, like I said many times. Your kids are wonderful, that's great. I hope they don't get into any trouble. They stretch out your abdomen, they kind of mess your belly up. But where they help you is with this procedure. Because if you've had kids and you've gotten lucky enough to really have the belly not really get real stretched out, what happens is your whole trunk skin does tend to stretch out and relax a little bit. So those patients will get more expansion and the fat will go there and stretch out more than if you hadn't had kids. But in each individual person, for that thigh area, you have to look and see. So I always want people to point out where they're really talking about it. Because if you're talking about the actual thigh itself, below the buttock, well below the buttock, that skin is usually very tight in almost everybody, and you can't really get it to fill out, but you can try. But if you're talking about the side of the buttock where it dips in, that's the place that's much better. And most people are going to be able to get some benefit from a transfer in that location. So hopefully that makes a little sense with the drawing. But again, it's always individual. You see how everyone's skin is, what fat's available, what you can do, where you're looking to get it. And most of the time, you can get a pretty good result with this procedure if you've done it enough, and we think we have. So, but everyone, like I said, is a little different. So hopefully that covers it.
Well, thank you, Dr. Payne. And if you have a question for the doctor, please reach out to us on Facebook, website, or actually Instagram, as we'll be on Instagram for the next few minutes taking your live questions. Dr. Payne, we appreciate your time, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks a lot.